I got started in real estate when I was a little kid, just watching what my father was doing and getting educated from him. He was kind of my first mentor in real estate. And he always told us, that there's two types of people in this world, those that pay rent and those that collect. And son, you always want to collect.
Welcome to the Wealth Through Real Estate Investing podcast, your source for real-world strategies focused on creating long-term wealth, cash flow, and financial freedom through real estate. Through guidance, tips, and stories of highly successful real estate investors and thought leaders, we provide you the tools to succeed and reach the lifestyle you always wanted. And now your host, Dwaine Clarke.
Hello and welcome to the Wealth Through Real Estate Investing podcast. This is your host, Dwaine Clarke. And today we have Nitzan Mosery. Nitzan is an international real estate investor and entrepreneur with 20 years experience. He is known as the Traveling Investor, and he is also the host of the Traveling Investor radio show and podcast. Thank you very much, Nitzan, and welcome to the show.
Thank you. How are you?
I'm doing very well. So I really appreciate you joining me again. We had talked a little bit on the pre-show about your radio show and how you get so many reach and kind of been doing it for several years. But before we kind of start off, for people that are not listening to your radio show or haven't heard from you, would you mind kind of going a little bit about your background and how did you get started in real estate?
Sure, absolutely. So I got started in real estate when I was a little kid, just watching what my father was doing and getting educated from him. He was kind of my first mentor in real estate. And he always told us, that there's two types of people in this world, those that pay rent and those that collect. And son, you always want to collect. So that was kind of the upbringing that we had growing up, that the wealthiest people in the world deal in real estate or are involved in real estate. And, growing up, I always thought that we had to buy real estate with our own money. And so I always wondered, walking down the streets of New York and, wow, people must have a lot of money to buy these buildings. And I never understood the power or syndication, the actual concept of syndication, until I got a lot older. And, throughout my life, I've done different real estate projects. As you said, I've done projects in South America, in Israel as well. And so just growing up with that mentality of, going out and having passive income. My dad was very strong in instilling us the fact that we should have other people pay our bills, so that's where I got my, the itch for real estate. And it's I enjoy it because it gives me the lifestyle that I want, where I can travel with my family. I can, go places. I'm my own boss, so it's a good place to be. So I went from doing single families all the way through, fix and flips, and then I started doing duplexes, and then 26 unit complex, and just started going bigger and bigger. Created a great team. I partner up with a great woman, and she's very intelligent, and we've been together for the last 10 years, and it's been a great ride.
Wow. So I know I talk to a lot of investors, and they get inspired through the Purple Book, which many people are familiar with, or their family being real estate, and they kind of get that itch from there. Was there any other educational things that you use to kind of propel you to get a little bit more knowledge about different asset classes and how to do it, or it was just mainly from your parents?
Yeah, sure. I went, after high school, I went back to Israel. I was in the military, and then I came back and I went into college, and didn't really do well in college. Just didn't sit with me. So I went out and I traveled the world for many years, and then I realized, in the Army they teach you, or the concept is follow me, right? The commanders always know where to go. They know where the landmines are, they know where the pitfalls are, and they guide you. And the smart soldiers listen to their commanders, and they don't step there, right? So I understood from an early age that I need to find people that were a lot smarter than I am. I'm not the smartest tool in the shed, right? And I understand that, and I understand the fact that I can surround myself with smarter people and use their knowledge to benefit the entire team. So I did. When I was 27 years old, I left the country and I came back about 10 years ago. And I didn't move back to New York. I ended up in Florida, and I needed to know who is in the game, who's playing, what's going on. And I started researching, and I started, looking to see who is very successful in what I want to do. Because it's very important to find somebody who has what you want. You do what they did and you'll get what they got. It's simple math, right? So I went out and I started looking, and I found a gentleman by the name of David Lindahl doing multifamily apartment complexes, teaching. And I went and I met with other, so-called gurus and people teaching and so forth. And a lot of them were teaching, but weren't really doing it. Their tactics were all screwed up, and it just didn't work. And when I found David Lindahl, I found someone who is still in the trenches. He's still building his real estate empire. He's still out there talking to brokers. He's raising capital, and he's learning the new laws that are coming, that are constantly changing. So I found someone who's actually doing it and was able to teach. And I went and I engulfed myself in his education course. And I really just went and I dove deep, and I went in and I redid his courses, and I listened to all the videos and all the CDs and everything. And I really got myself educated on multifamily, because single families are one thing, office buildings are another. I also own a hotel. I own a marina with a resort attached to it. So you really have to know the different asset classes and understand the underwriting, understand how to market them, how to generate income, how to cut expenses, and so forth, because each asset has its own different nuances and intricacies. So yeah, so I studied a long time with Dave, and it's very important to have a good mentor on your side, a good coach that is still doing it and is looking out for your best interest. There's a lot of people out there looking for their own interest, right? Let me just see how many clients I can get, and if they don't make money, that's their loss, right? That's kind of the mentality I was with when I was working on Wall Street when I was in New York in my 20s. It didn't matter. The sense, the vibe in the office was, it doesn't matter if our clients make money, because when we buy, we sell, we as brokers make money. And I didn't jive with that kind of philosophy, and I still don't jive with that philosophy. For me, it's all about my investors. It's all about my clients. It's all about the people that I serve. It's about them. So yeah, definitely get a mentor. It's important because it cuts the learning curve probably in half, I would say, right? And for the amount of money that you're spending getting a mentor, you're probably saving 10 times that from making mistakes, right? Because they can say, hey, don't do that. That's you could lose a lot of money there. Or if you didn't have the mentor, you might spend that money, lose that money, and now you lost that money, and now you're going to get a mentor. So it's, why not just get the mentor in the beginning, save a couple of dollars?
Exactly. You had mentioned marina, hotel, and a couple other different asset classes. So what's kind of like your mix of your portfolio looking like now?
So we got two office buildings. I own two office buildings in Manhattan. I own a hotel in Memphis, 240 rooms. It's a place where Elvis Presley used to hang out as well. It's about 1.5 miles from Graceland. Wow. So we like to buy properties that have a history, that have a story, that there's something to it. I was involved in a project in South America on another boutique hotel in the beginning of the projects. What else we got? We got multifamily all around the country, single families. We have a marina, 120 boat slip marina with 30 some odd little mini homes as like little vacation cabins, where you can also have weddings there, events, and so forth. So yeah, big, very diverse portfolio of real estate.
Is your kind of your main wheelhouse multifamily, or is it whatever kind of is a good deal?
Well, no, our core business is multifamily value add, right? That's our core. That's what we're experts in. That's what we know. That's what we know well, and we do well. Everything else is an opportunity that came up that we looked at that we figured it would be a great opportunity for us to take advantage of, and we went forward with it.
Mm. And where are those located, the multifamily deals?
We have multifamily in the Georgia market, in Oklahoma, and in Texas right now. Right?
Mm.
Is that it? Yes. Mm-hmm.
And then what kind of drew you to those marketplaces, and what's kind of like your criteria for what a good market is?
Sure. Well, Texas, Dallas. I think everybody knows what goes on in Dallas. It's a crazy market. A lot of people love Dallas. It's like Florida, no income tax on the state level. So there's a lot of good things that are happening there. It's a booming market, right? It's been a very heavy oil saturated market where that's a primary economic driving factor. San Antonio is booming. Fort Worth is booming. All these cities are just, that they've always been really strong cities. So Texas, we can understand why. Oklahoma, we bought in Tulsa, right off of Route 66, right by a river. And, real estate is about location. So we bought this property that is situated about a mile or two away from a huge park, like a central park, if you will. They built it. It's called The Gathering. I think they spent about $1 billion building this park.
Wow.
And the roads were closed for several years. And the opportunity for this apartment complex was that we renovate the entire buildings, everything, inside and out. We wait for the park to open, the roads open up, and that's just going to drive a huge demand to this area. And we've taken rents for, as an example, from $450 to $750 right now is where we are. So that's why we bought over there. Georgia, same thing. Georgia is a big hub. Atlanta, right? One of the largest airports in the country. Great university, Georgia University. So we bought a property about 3 miles away from Georgia University. We bought 2 other properties last year on the outskirts of Atlanta because the people are being pushed out of Atlanta. All these newcomers are coming in. They're charging them higher rents, right? Because new people have bought properties, they're not renovating them. They're charging higher rents. The locals are moving out to the suburbs. They want a better quality of life and lower rents. So they're coming to us. So we're now able to do the same thing, renovate and increase the rents. For example, when we bought last year, our pro forma was to hit $750 on one of our properties. We're now pushing $850.
Wow.
So we're even $100 over our pro forma numbers. So this is why we like it. We like to look in markets that, over 100,000 people in the MSA. You got universities. You got a strong international airport. You've got, obviously the number one holy grail is job growth. So we've got to see that the local government has got plans in place to attract a lot of companies to come in and to create jobs. That's what we're looking for. We're looking for job creation in the market. So those are the kind of criteria. Right now we're focusing on the southeast quadrant of the U.S., northern Florida all the way up to North Carolina. These are really hot markets, and they're probably not going anywhere anytime soon.
And as far as like how you guys are finding deals, is it working with brokers? Or are you guys contacting property managers or sending letters? What's your process?
So we've built good relationships with brokers. We have a good track record. So, once you close with the broker, they know that you're another funnel for them. And then we have to compete with all the other guys that they've got in that funnel. But they know that we can close. So we have a good track record. So building really good relationships with brokers is really the way to go. The brokers are doing a lot of work, right? They're putting together the property package. They're doing the market surveys, rent comps, sales comps. They're putting all this information together for you. Now, mind you, when you're dealing with a broker, obviously the comps that they're going to give you are the best comps, which are good. You want to look at the nice ones, but you also want to do your homework and your due diligence and see all the really crappy ones, all the bad ones, the really bad ones that they don't show you. You want to see where's the range here, right? So we've done that. We also have a lot of, what do you call them? Bird dogs that we have in different markets, right? They're out there. These are people that want to get involved in real estate and multifamily. They don't really yet have the experience. They don't have the track record. They don't have the funds. They don't have the network, but they want to get involved. So the easiest way for them to get involved is to go and build relationships with brokers or with owners of properties, like you said, or property management companies, and build those relationships with them. And then when they have a deal, they can now say, hey, these are the people that we're working with. And they come to us and say, look, this is what I've got. And then they have to underwrite it and analyze it before they bring it to us. And if it matches our criteria, then they can ship it to us and we'll take a look at it. And then we bring them in as part of the management team of the general partnership. So those are the couple of ways that we go about doing it. Sending letters is difficult because when you've got, when you're doing the bigger assets, 100 units and up, 70 units and up, 50 units and up, a lot of times they're owned by LLCs and then they have a registered agent. So you're sending a letter to a registered agent or to the property manager, which is probably not going to get to the actual principal or the owner. So when you're doing a mailing, it might be better off for you to do a mailing per property that you have the information at hand and not do like a mass mailing that you might just be wasting your money for new people. So build those relationships with brokers really, really strong, because a broker wants to sell a property and they're doing the work, building the relationships with the sellers. And a good broker is worth their weight in gold, right? They really understand the market. They understand the seller. They understand the property. They understand what you can do to it. They're not just trying to shove a property in front of you and say, here, buy it.
That's good. Yeah. So like the broker is part of the team. You have bird dogs. As far as your team, do you have kind of a team like an analyst? And because I know it's like a lot of heavy lifting to kind of do all this stuff to find the right deal. Do you have like a little team there that kind of works with you?
Sure. So in my company, Cornerstone, there's my partner, Laura. And now we incorporate another gentleman by the name of Benjamin. And Ben has the broker relations and the underwriting experience as well. My partner, Laura, who I started Cornerstone with, she's got a double master's in economics, one from the University of Orleans in France and one from the University in Miami. She wanted to do a PhD in economics, but she decided to go for a double master's. Okay. Wow. Exactly. That's what I said. Wow. Okay. So she was our main underwriter for a long time, and she still is. But now we have Ben, who goes out and engages the brokers that he has relationships with, because he previously worked for big guys like Grant Cardone. We've heard of his name. So he's one of the underwriters for Grant. He worked for other family offices, and he branched out because he realized that he was building somebody else's empire, not his. So now we partnered up, and now we're building our empire together. So he goes out, he builds those relationships, and he gets the properties, he underwrites them, and he sends it to us, and then we underwrite it as well, and we talk about it. So yes, so we have that. And then the three of us as well, we go out and we network and we build relationships with people so that we can raise capital. Everybody on the team has to raise capital. So it's just, that's just the way it is. Because we want to do big deals, we need a lot of capital, and we're always growing, because there's only so much I can come to you and say, here's another deal, here's another deal. You need to replenish your, the pot before you can send it out again, right? So
exactly. As far as like the type of deals you guys are looking for, are you guys looking at really heavy lifting deals that require a lot of rehab, or more management intensive type of deals, or whichever that just looks good and you make a decision at that time?
Well, we're looking for something in the middle. Okay. We don't mind renovating the interior of the units, but we don't want to start removing walls and, rewiring the buildings or repiping the buildings, or if there's a foundational problem, we don't want to deal with that. Because like you said, it's heavy lifting, and there's a lot of great opportunities out there where you can go in, you throw in a couple of dollars into a unit, you put in these nice flooring, you put in new cabinets, appliances, you're in, you're out, boom. You paint the place, it's beautiful, done, next, right? This is what we look for. So we look for a strong value play. We're looking for properties that, the owners haven't raised the rents in a while, right? And they're 100% occupied. They're $150 below rent, right? They haven't touched the interiors in, 5-10 years. These are the kind of assets that we look for. Like you said as well, management issues, right? Property management company, hasn't been doing their job. They've been slacking off. All kinds of issues, right? We're looking to take the problem off of the seller's hands, solve that problem, make money for our investors, create a better living community for our residents, and it's a win-win for everybody.
Yeah, we just kind of mentioned a little bit about investors. If we can move on to that topic, what's kind of like a typical deal structure? I know it's like a deal by deal basis, but do you guys do preferred returns? Do you guys just do straight equity? Do you do a combination of both?
Yeah, we do preferred return. So usually we do, we do anywhere between depending on the property, but usually like a 7 to 8% pref. We don't like to give any hurdles. We like to keep it simple. The more complicated you make it for people, the easier it is for them to say no. So we like to make it very simple. So we have the limited partners, which are the investors. We have their splits, their shares, and we have the general partnership, our shares. And what we say is, your share should equal, 7 to 8%. And if it doesn't, we'll take from our share. We'll give it to you. You guys get your share first before we get ours. And usually when we're doing a value play, the income going into the property is a little bit lower, right? Because the whole point is to renovate and increase that NOI and get that NOI up. So when we're buying it, that NOI is down. So usually my team, the general partnership, we're not taking any funds because all the funds have to go to the limited partners to make that 7, 8%. And if it doesn't make that 7, 8%, then any quarter, we just tack it on down the road, and eventually we give it in arrearages, either when we sell or when there's excess cash flow from renovations. So we like to do that.
Yeah, I mentioned that you're like keeping it simple. So do you also not do any syndication fees, like acquisition fees?
No, we do acquisition fees because, like I said, when we're doing a value play, usually from the income, I'm not making any money from the cash flow. So I need to make my acquisition fee so that I can sustain myself throughout that time period. All right, so we have our acquisition fee. We do throw in an asset management fee as well. It's not a lot. It's in there also just in case we need to replace ourselves and we need to bring in a third-party asset management fee, asset management company. So that line is already built in. The expense is already built in. It's not an additional expense to the investors. So they know that it's there. We also throw in different fees if we have to bring in a broker-dealer or if we have to pay more, all other fees that may come up with raising capital. So we throw that in there. And but we make it very simple. This is what it is. This is where we're going to take it, and this is what your return is going to be. So the simpler we make it, the investors like it. Now, we have a lot of accredited investors and a lot of very sophisticated, qualified investors as well. So they understand, the process and where we're taking it. And we like to always underwrite on the conservative side, right? Under promise, over deliver, right? And that's why we were pro forma, one of our properties I mentioned earlier, our number was 750 to bring the rent to 750, and now we're pushing 850, right? So for the investors, they're like, wow, that's amazing, right? And it happened to me recently. I just flipped a house, and I have a friend of mine who came in with me on it, and I told him, I said, we're probably going to make, 33, 34% return on our money in about 4 months. It's a pretty good return. I gave him 31%.
Wow.
Great return, right? What was the first thing he said? Oh, but you said 33, 34. Right? So that kind of just threw me back. I said, even with friends, even when you're doing something like this, right? Even a 31% return in 3 months is awesome. When you annualize that, that's 120% return on your money. Where are you getting that today in something that's tangible, right? So in something that's growing equity constantly. So I looked at him, I said, do you understand that you got 31%? He goes, no, I understand it's an incredible return, but you did say 33, 34. So in my mind, I say now, again, even with friends or, whatever you're doing, under promise and over deliver, right? It just makes it sound so much sweeter. Imagine if I would have told him we're going to make 30% and we made 31%. His whole demeanor, his whole attitude would have been completely different, right? But he still made 31%.
Yeah, it's a pretty good. And so what, like for the deals that you finally get stabilized, are you doing quarterly payouts, or do you ever get to a point where it's monthly payouts for investors?
Yeah, we tried doing monthly. It's just, it's sometimes when you're doing these value add properties, especially in the beginning, and if you're doing monthly payouts, they're small checks. They're really small checks. And it
Mhm.
takes time from we have a third party fund administrator that takes care of all of our books for our properties. And they're on it. So they know, they have all the PPMs and all the sub docs. They know exactly who invested what, the LLCs, they have everything. So they set everything up. And it's also, it's expensive to keep the books every month to send out these small checks. So we do it on a quarterly basis. We send out quarterly financials. I like to do little videos like we're doing now. I do a little video. I say, hi, guys, this is Nitzan. We're talking about blah, blah, blah apartment complex. And this is what happened this past month. Everything is great. Thank you. Bye. Close it out. So at least they're seeing my face on a monthly basis, getting a quick blurb. And then on the quarter, we send them the quarterly financials and their distributions. And we get on a quarterly call where we go over. I have my fund admin with me on the phone and on the call, and we go over the financials and what happened and where we're going and so forth.
That's a really good tip. I like that a lot. That servicing company that does all the payouts, is that with a bank or is that like another separate company?
That's a separate company. That's a third-party fund administrative company. They're called V1 Capital. They're great. I highly recommend them. He's a good friend of mine. He's he's very picky with the numbers. He's constantly going back and forth with the property manager and with the accountants from the property management company to reconcile the books and make sure everything is perfect. And if there's an issue, he sends me an email. He goes, "Hey, check this out. The water bill was ridiculous this month." Right? So okay, why was it? Why was water bill 3 times the average this month? Now I got to call the property manager and say, "Hey, what was going on site? What's happening?" Right?
Wow, that's really
And
great tip. Wow.
and that's what happened. That's actually what happened. We looked at the financials. He said, "Listen, in November you had huge water bill, November, December, and it's been going on and on. You should really check it." So my partner Ben, who's on site um, in Atlanta, he went to the property, and we found out that there are these leaks
Wow.
in the units, in the bathtubs. Now he showed me a video of it, and it was as if they had turned the faucet on and just let the water run.
Mm.
And it was a leak. So, we kind of were like, wait a minute, December and January, or I'm sorry, November and December, we had these 2 big water bills, and now we understand why. We immediately took care of it. Immediately took care of it, washed it, closed it off, right? Because we looked at it, we said the water was a little high. What was it? Maybe it was a little pipe that burst over there. Okay, fix that. Let's check this. Maybe it was this, and you start playing with things, right? Because you got to be like Columbo, right? You're a detective now, trying to figure out what it was. And then we realized that it was these leaks. And now, not only that, but now we have to have words with our manager and say, "Hey, how come you didn't know about this? How can you let something like this go? Now, what systems can we put in place to prevent that from ever happening again?" Right? You got to learn from your mistakes, or else it's pointless. So that's why it's really great to have this third-party fund administrator to go over the numbers, to check, and it's crucial. So they're the ones that go out and make the distributions as well.
Is that like a line item as far as operating expense, or is part of that syndication fee?
No, that's a line item that you got that you should put in there. So,
Wow.
you should check them out, see what they, V1 Capital or any other fund administrator, see what they will offer you, what services they offer you, how much it costs, and create a line item. Because, with my clients, I show them that, I share with them that you don't want to be doing that. You want somebody else doing that. You want to work on your business, right? You want to be the person on top managing the CEO of your company, right? So the CEO has to go out and deal with the managers and deal with the fund admin and all that. You want to be on top working on your business, right? Moving it forward rather than in your business, writing the checks, making the distributions, and doing all that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's like part of the team. So that's very crucial. That's a very good tip there.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Kind of moving on to networking. Like I know you have big platform. Is that what's some other tips or other stuff that you're doing that help bring in investors or build your network?
Sure. Well, like we talked before, right? A lot of people write a book, and if you can't write a book, you have a podcast, you have a radio show. You want to become the expert, right? When you're going out. When I'm working with my clients before they go networking, we take inventory. We do an inventory sheet, right? Just like you go in a supermarket, you take inventory of what's on the shelf and then what's needed. So we go out and we create this inventory list of everything that they have that they bring to the table, right? Whatever it is, time, contacts, underwriting prowess, business admin capabilities, whatever it is, right? Whatever it is, talents, skills, what they want to do as well. And then on the other side, we fill that out and we say, okay, now what's missing? Right. So first, what we do is we kind of make a chart of the company, right? Like a mind map of the company, right? We put them in the middle, and we go out from there. And we understand what are the different positions that we need to fill to build our company. And then we say, okay, what are the tasks and skills that I bring to the table, and who do we need to help? Or who do we need to bring in to this mind map, right? It's like a piece of the puzzle, right? Who do I need? I need an underwriter. I need a broker. I need a real estate attorney. I need a marketing person. I need someone who understands a fund admin, so to speak. I need someone who is a sponsor, has a net worth and the liquidity to help me do my deals. I need all these different people in my business, right? Business development, HR, whatever it is. We create that map, and then we create the inventory of what else do we need? Who else do we need, right? And then part of that is also setting the goals for the company. And when you set goals, you have tasks and activities that need to get done. So who can help me achieve those tasks and goals, right? And we write all that down. Now you have a map when you go to network. Now you understand who you need to talk to. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And what it does also, it activates the RAS, the reticular activating system. There you go, which is a part of the brain. That's the part where, let's say you went and you bought yourself a green Toyota, right? And you take it out of the shop, and now all you see are green Toyotas in front of you. Like, where were they before? I've never seen this, right? How can it be? That's the RAS pinpointing every single thing that is the same thing. It's bringing it to you, right? Mm-hmm. So when you put this down on a piece of paper and you start looking at it, you go, this is what I need. The RAS says, okay, if this is what we need, this is what we need. Let's go find it. Let me point out to Nitzan who these people are and who these things are that he can bring into his team to help achieve the goals. Now you got to be open and you got to be receptive to seeing that and to going forward and taking that, right? So that's before you go network. And then when you go network, in the beginning, I used to go out and I used to go everywhere. And I used to talk to everybody and meet everybody. And, you meet these, everybody's a realtor and everybody's a financial advisor and everybody's an attorney and everybody's making signs and business cards and it's all the same genre of people in all the same networking events. So I started getting very, very specific on who is it I want to meet, right? Again, with that list, right? So once I had that list in front of me, I said, okay, these are the types of people I want to meet. Where do they hang out? Well, these people, and today with social media, it's not stalking, it's getting to know your network, right? So if I want to meet the mayor of my city, right, maybe I'll go on social media and see where the mayor hangs out, or what events they go to, what philanthropic events, what sporting events, whatever, right? And then I will go to those places and be a part of those events. I'll buy a ticket. I'll go and I'll walk up to the mayor and say, hi, nice to meet you, so forth. And that's what I did here in my city in Boca. And that's how we met the mayor, and we're close with the mayor. So, that's being very laser focused and understanding who is your avatar of investor and where do they hang out, right? The best place to go to meet successful people is fundraising events. philanthropic events. These people have money. They just bought a ticket for $250, $300 to go to this event. They probably are spending more money here and there. They're already in the idea of giving. They understand this, right? So now they may not want to invest, or they may not be the person, but who do you think they are connected to? Other people, right? So you want to go, and that's how I started, and that's where I am now with my networking. I'm very laser focused when I go out and I go to network, and I know exactly who I want to meet and where I want to meet them, and what we're going to talk about. I do my homework, and I go and I build a rapport, and I go out. So you want to go, you want to network. The other thing I've done was I created a meetup group, right? I can only go to so many events and talk to so many people, but if I create an event, if I create a place where people can come and we can network and we can talk and we can share ideas, this will be a great place to also meet people. And I've already, I've raised, several hundreds, thousands of dollars from my meetup already because of the people that were there. And it builds the trust. It builds the connection. They see my track record. They hear what I say, and it's very easy. Networking, right? To find investors. I'll give you another story. I go to a CrossFit gym. I work out, 5 days a week, and they have these on-ramp courses where they teach you about CrossFit and the movements and how to do it right and so forth. They're about 6 weeks long. I did that on-ramp course, and there were these other guys that were with me, and we started coming to the gym on a daily basis, and we're doing the same classes, 8, 9 o'clock in the mornings and so forth. And, you get to talking to these people, and you build a relationship with them, or a rapport. So one of the guys has his own company, and we were talking, and he's like, so I'm like, so what do you do? He goes, well, I have this tree company and blah, blah, blah. I said, oh, that's awesome. Fantastic. We started talking. He says, what do you do? I said, nah, I'm in real estate. Nothing much. I buy real estate. And I left it at that. And he's like, oh, my dad had some properties, and I'd love to get into that again. It'd be great, but maybe we should talk. Yeah, whatever. I'm not pushing him. I'm building that relationship first. Right? That's the most important thing, is that relationship. Mm-hmm. 6 months down the road, he's like, we started talking more and more and more. And he goes, well, let me know, what you're working on, on the project you're working on. I said, you know what? As a matter of fact, I've got a property in Atlanta under contract. I'll send you the prospectus. Take a look at it. Let me know. I sent it to him. He emails me back. He goes, yeah, I'm in for $50,000. No, I'm sorry. He goes, I'm in for 100. I said, okay, great. Am I doing the numbers backwards? No, I'm doing the numbers backwards. He goes, I'm in for 50. I go, great. Boom. He comes in for 50. 2 months later, we get another property under contract. I'm like, hey, you interested? He goes, yeah, send it to me. Send it to him again. He came in with 100. Third property last year. Sent it to him again. Came in with another 50. Wow. Right? Now he's telling me, he goes, look, I have other friends that are interested in investing. I said, listen, you help us raise capital. Now I can't pay you. I can't pay you commission, right? You can only raise money for deals that you own. I said, what I'll do is I'm going to make you a partner, but I got to give you a task. I can't just make you a partner for raising money. So you're going to be in charge of, when these, at any point in time when we have another deal under contract, I'm going to bring you in, and this is, you're going to be the maintenance guy, making sure that maintenance is done correctly on site, making sure that the landscaping is taken, because that's your specialty, right? And that's where we're going to put you in. So that's how we, and we just build it and build it and build it. And, again, I want to say we cannot, and we don't pay people to help us raise money, because that's completely illegal. When people want to come and they join our team, we bring them in, we make them a partner. And then, like I said, they have their task, and then everybody on the team goes out and raises capital, right? It's a team effort.
Yeah, that's a wonderful story. It's get really deep in there, the meetups, the networking, the precision networking, talking with people, building that relationship over time. That's some really good stuff there. Kind of like your little bit personal stuff. Like, what is kind of like a typical day when you're not working? It seems like you're doing a lot of stuff there.
When I'm not working, I don't know.
I'm always doing something.
I'm always doing something. But that's the thing about, when I'm talking to my clients, I'm showing them how to build a business based on their lifestyle and not live their lifestyle based on their business, right? So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, no, I'm sorry, this last week, yeah, 2 weeks ago, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we were on the west coast of Florida with another friend of mine. We were, boating and hanging out, and I was able to do that because, this is the new office, right? The phones, right? And that's a beautiful thing because we're now able to sign contracts, look at photos, do videos, do everything. You have your tablet, your laptop. That's what I love about my business is that I can take it and I can be mobile. And I can do it anywhere, right? So if I'm not doing real estate, then I'm building my consulting mentoring business, and I'm doing my meetups and I'm doing all kinds of things. I'm also working with one of my partners and we're doing other projects, right? Solar farms and all these different awesome projects that we're working on. So yeah, now my kids are off from school, right? Summer vacation. So at the end of the month, we're going to New York, visit some friends. And then, my wife wants to go visit Mount Rushmore. She wants to see the faces. And we want to go to, Yellowstone National Park and do some hiking and stuff like that. So that's the beauty that having this business and working on your business rather than in your business gives you the opportunities to spend time with your family, travel, do the things that you like. I'm very close to the ocean. My house is, we ride our bikes to the beach. So during the day, I get up and I'm like, all right, you know what? I'm taking a 20-minute, half-hour break. I'm going to the beach. And you don't have to swim. I just go out there, put my toes in the sand, breathe in some salt air, put my feet in the water, and then come back and, hey, let's do it again. Let's move on. So yeah, it's a lifestyle that we're creating.
Tell us about your mastermind group. What's how many people do you have involved? Is it real estate investors, syndicators, or who's in that group?
So we've got LEED certified architects, environmental engineers. We've got fund administrators. We've got commercial real estate brokers. We've got, investors. I'm working on bringing a gentleman who owns one of the largest companies in West Palm Beach, and it's a company that does cost segregation. His name is Julio Gonzalez. He's also been very what's the word I'm looking for? Very instrumental in helping the president create the new tax reforms. So he's been flying up back and forth. So I'm looking to bring him into the mastermind as well. Estate planning attorneys in the mastermind as well. I like to be the dumbest person in the room. That's how I want to be. Sometimes I'm the smartest guy. I'm like, if I'm the smartest guy, it's a problem. We got to do something here. So I like to bring a lot of high caliber individuals into the masterminds, and we work on everybody's main issue that they have. Right? We break it down to figure out what is it that's really the challenge in your company. Because like you said, a lot of people come and say, brokers aren't giving me the best deals. I'm getting all the crappy deals from the brokers. There's no good opportunities in this market. This market is too saturated. Blah blah blah. So we break it down to see what is the real issue. Because all these things, they're symptoms, right? A headache is a symptom of something else, right? What's causing the headache? What's causing you not to move to the next level in your company? What's causing you to not get the best deal sent to you, right? What's the cause? Let's figure that out, and we'll work on it.
Very cool. Is that a virtual, or everyone flies on to Boca for like a weekend or something?
Come to Boca, baby. Come to Boca.
Yeah, that's not a bad trip,
It's not a bad trip. There's a Best Western, there's Marriott, you got some great hotels, there's great food, and it doesn't matter if it's in the winter or in the summer.
Yeah.
It's great weather, So we do it a day and on a Saturday, and then people can stay over and we go to the beach on Sunday, we hang out, just spend time together, right? The more time we spend together, the more synergy and the more energy we can create, and the more things can come from it.
I like that idea. So what about your radio show? I know you had talked a little bit about it. You had it for a couple of years. You have a pretty good listener base. Can you just kind of tell the audience how large is your base? What type of topics you talk about? Do you bring on guests and things like that?
Sure. Awesome. Yeah. Thank you. So yeah, it's called the Traveling Investor Radio Show, and we're going into our third year. We have about 500,000 listeners in the country. We're listened to in 5 countries. Yeah, 5 countries: Australia, England, Canada, Vietnam, and China.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's great. So the tag is, master your mind, body, and wallet. Okay, this is the place where we're going to talk about all the negative limiting beliefs that we've had, that we have, and the meanings we give to them, and how they held us back and they're holding us back, how we can change them. We talk about health, right? Because what good is it making a crap load of money if you're sick, right? If you can't enjoy it. And then we also talk about mastering your wallet, right? How you don't have to master your wallet in real estate. You can go out and do whatever you want, but there's a proven system of achieving your goals and how to do it that anybody can follow the system, and you'll achieve your goals. It doesn't matter what industry you want to do it in, right? You obviously need to be the expert in your industry, whatever it is. But if you follow these proven steps, and you have your passion and your why, the how will come. So this is what we talk about on the show. We have some great guests on the show. I've had Julio Gonzalez, the gentleman I was talking to you about, on the show. We've had great a lot investors, successful people. We've had the CFO of iPick, who took the company from 16 million to 160 million. We have international business owners from Israel and from South America as well, talking about different technology, talking about different ways of advancing your business and so forth. So yeah, we have a lot of great speakers that come on, and guests that come on. TEDx talk. TEDx, I've had people that have spoken on TEDx come and shared with me on the show. So a lot of good information. And the beautiful thing about it is that we're moving from Thursdays at 1 p.m. We're moving to Wednesdays at 3 p.m. starting July 3rd. We're adding also video content to it. So you'll be able to have video as well as audio. And what else did I want to say about it? Oh, so we were on iHeart. So after the show is aired live, it gets uploaded as a podcast to iHeart Radio. So you can go to the podcast section, check out the Traveling Investor Show, and it's all the previous shows are there. But what's cool is now we're going to be on iTunes, Spotify, Pandora. We're going global, baby.
Awesome. So you said now it's going to be on Wednesdays at 3 now instead of the Thursdays at 1 p.m.
Wednesdays at 5, starting July 3rd.
Okay, and then how do people find that show? Did they just type in the Traveling Investor, or did they?
So yeah, great, thank you. So it's the radio show is W4CY Radio. W like whiskey, the number 4, C as in Charlie, Y as in yellow.com. So you can download the app as well, or you can go. Now it's Thursdays at 1 p.m. But July 3rd it'll be at Wednesdays at 5 p.m. On your phone, you can download the app, you can listen to it, or you can go on your computer and listen to it on w4cy.com. And the cool thing about it being live is that you can ask questions live. So, it's a very interactive show. And a lot of times, I talk about my personal struggles. I talk about my negative limiting beliefs, where they are, how they're affecting me. And it's a back and forth show where we get a lot of really good response. A lot of people in Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, all around the country. 500,000 listeners. It's fantastic.
Wow, it's beautiful. So how else do people get in touch with you? I know they got the radio show. What about for your investment company, and talk to you about mastermind groups and coaching, consulting, and all that stuff?
Sure. Awesome. So my consulting mentoring website isn't up yet, but it's going to be www.thetraveling-investor.com. And I'll have everything up there that you can see about the masterminds and all that stuff. For investments, you can check out my website, www.investwithcip. And it's Charlie Indigo Papa, CIP.com. and that stands for Cornerstone Investment Partners. So www.investwithcip.com. That's my website. You can email me there. You can see who we are, what we've done, our portfolio, what we've bought, what we've sold, all that good stuff. You want to email me, you can email me at Nitzan, that's Nizan, at investwithcip.com.
Awesome. Nitzan, thank you so much. You give a lot of detail. That's one thing I like about you. And you're in the beautiful state of Boca Raton, Florida. I have to visit you out there sometime. So Nitzan, thank you so much again for talking to us. And we'll look forward to speak with you again soon.
Thank you, Dwaine. I appreciate it. Had a great time. Thank you.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for joining us on this episode of the Wealth Through Real Estate Investing podcast. Don't forget to subscribe and leave us a review on iTunes or the listening platform of your choice. Also, please check us out at DwaineLClarke.com, as well as find us on Facebook for more useful content and resources.